Hey, beautiful people. Today I wanted to talk about how, continue the conversation of how women can help change the way we look at men in society today. And the topic I wanted to talk about is teaching respect and modeling respectful behavior and helping generations after you learn the value of man, because where we're at now has been taught probably like one or two generations, but has been taught, so we can unteach it and teach better. So the first thing, demonstrate positive communication styles. I know, coming from where I came from and just how women speak to men there, even though I always viewed it as playing and maybe like taunting, a little bit playful, Dad did not view it that way. It took a lot of unlearning certain behaviors and ways of communicating and learning new behaviors to try to communicate, if I was joking, but in a different way, so that it didn't seem to come off as disrespect. When conflict arises, right? Communicate differently that way, especially if you're in front of your children or children. Try to do it constructively. Don't put anybody down when you are facing conflict. Again, always acknowledge the positive male contributions. I know a lot of times, like I heard when we were way more complaining about the men around and how stupid they were and how they couldn't get stuff done without them. I'm sure as shit that like the men around didn't do that. Not always. Not always. Sometimes, but not always. Instead of, talking bad about them or whatever, highlight the good that they do. I always heard great stories about my grandfather on my dad's side. Nobody ever talked positive about men outside of that. So try to speak life into them. Good memories that you share with your significant other before or during baby, whoever is around. Just showcase who they are as a person and what made you like them and fall in love with them or have a baby with them. Try to avoid stereotyping. This creates balance because men and women are strong, capable, kind. It's not gender specific, right? But each person has a place in society for their gender, right? For their different roles. We were talking about how the certain workforces, while women can be capable of doing that, they're typically male ran, and there's specific reasons for that. The same thing with like female ran roles, and like how men couldn't do it because they're untrustworthy or lack empathy or anything like that. Just try to avoid those stereotypes when teaching kids. Yes, dad in our household, dad is going to be breadwinner. Dad is going to take care of us, protect us, provide for us the same way mom would protect. Not same way, but also mom protects and provides, but different ways. Just teach them that they're the same but different, if that makes sense. No need to stereotype dad as him incapable of doing what mom does. In essence, will he be as nurturing or as soft and feminine? Probably not, but he can still put on that role because he's doing it right now. Encourage showing gratitude for the male figures in their life, and you show gratitude and appreciation. If you are, partnered with somebody and they step up and they do all this stuff, let them know how grateful you are for dad or person X, Y, and Z, and teach them to do the same thing, to be thankful that dad did whatever, fix the bike chain or whatever it is, you know what I mean? Teach them to show gratitude. I told you about dinner, how every night I always get, I appreciate you, thank you, regardless of what the meal is. Teach your kids to try to do the same thing for dad and you. Always lead by example. Just know that your kids are going to learn more by what you do than what you say. So if you are being respectful, showing appreciation, avoiding demeaning comments about men, just being a positive light and not a reflection of negativity. Kids will see that. They'll pick up on it, and they're not going to mimic you and do the same thing. Just really let them feel empowered and teach them that they're empowered and that they can, so that they can learn healthy relationships and boundaries. And they're going to do that through your relationships with people, whether it's platonic or romantic. So you have to be a reflection of that. Kind of going back on what I said just now. And then if you are unfortunately a single parent and dad for whatever reason isn't around, or they don't have a grandpa around or someone positive, try to expose them to that. It's going to be uncomfortable, I'm sure, because you're probably an independent woman who doesn't need a man and F all men, but try to expose them, especially if you have little boys, to positive role models, whether it's a show or whatever, books, whatever it is that you can, so that they don't mimic the men that are around them. You know what I mean? Like, the way dad treats me is going to be the way boy treats me. And the way I treat dad is going to be the way he treats dad, outside of their little relationship that they build. You know what I mean? He's going to learn how to talk to women and appreciate women and care for a woman by the way dad does for me. And he's going to learn how to respect, you know, peers and stuff, just watching us. So it's really big as a woman for you to remove ego, remove whatever hurt it is that you're having, especially if you're with child or already have a baby and you're partnered, because what we show and how we act are going to be how our kids act, and we can't heal generations of these stereotypes if we continue to pass them down. So that's all I have. Hopefully you take it into consideration that you are the programmer for your kid, essentially, and what you do and say becomes them. So hopefully you know, respect for yourself, respect for the value of a man, and just respect for God, and everything else will fall into line. That's all I have, though. Go see my babies. Thanks.